In today's fast-paced world, multitasking has become a celebrated skill, often viewed as a necessity for success in both personal and professional spheres. The ability to juggle multiple tasks simultaneously is frequently lauded as a marker of efficiency and productivity. However, this widespread belief is not just misguided, it's a dangerous myth that can significantly hinder our performance and well-being. The allure of multitasking is understandable. In a society that values productivity above all else, the idea of accomplishing multiple tasks at once seems like an ideal solution to our ever-growing to-do lists. We've convinced ourselves that by engaging in multiple activities simultaneously, be it watching a video while browsing the internet or responding to emails during a meeting, we're maximizing our time and efficiency. This belief has become so ingrained in our culture that job listings often cite multitasking as a desirable skill, and countless websites offer advice on how to improve one's ability to multitask. However, the harsh reality is that multitasking is neither efficient nor effective. In fact, it's a surefire way to compromise the quality and quantity of our work. The concept of multitasking, as we commonly understand it, is fundamentally flawed and contradicts the way our brains are designed to function. To understand why multitasking is counterproductive, we need to delve into the workings of our brain, particularly its deliberate system. Contrary to popular belief, when we think we're multitasking, our brain isn't actually processing multiple tasks in parallel. Instead, it's rapidly switching attention between different activities. This constant shifting comes at a significant cost, both in terms of time and cognitive resources. Dr. Sophie Leroy, a business professor at the University of Minnesota, introduced the concept of attention residue in her 2009 paper titled, "Why is it so hard to do my work?" This phenomenon occurs when we switch from one task to another. Even after we've moved on to a new task, a residue of our attention remains stuck on the previous activity. This divided attention persists for a while, impairing our ability to fully focus on the new task at hand. For instance, if you're writing an article and a colleague interrupts you to discuss a business problem, your attention doesn't immediately shift entirely to the new conversation. When you return to writing, your focus remains divided as your mind continues to process the interaction with your colleague. This residual attention can significantly impact your productivity and the quality of your work. The cost of task switching is further illuminated by a study of Microsoft employees, which found that after an email interruption, it took workers an average of 15 minutes to fully regain their train of thought. This recovery time applies whether they responded to the email or not. When you consider the number of interruptions we face in a typical day, it becomes clear how detrimental constant task switching can be to our overall productivity. The time cost of multitasking varies depending on the complexity of the tasks involved. For simple tasks, switching may increase the time needed by about 25%, but for complex tasks, this can escalate to over 100%. This means that attempting to multitask can potentially double the time it takes to complete your work. Interestingly, frequent multitasking doesn't improve one's ability to do it effectively. In fact, habitual multitaskers have been found to take longer to switch between tasks than occasional multitaskers. This suggests that constant multitasking may actually erode our ability to focus for extended periods. A landmark study conducted by Professor Clifford Nass at Stanford University in 2009 sought to evaluate the performance of self-proclaimed multitaskers. The results were surprising and concerning. Contrary to expectations, individuals who frequently engaged in multitasking performed worse on every measure compared to those who multitasked less often. Despite their confidence in their multitasking abilities, these individuals were, in Nass's words, lousy at everything. It's crucial to differentiate between true multitasking and the brain's ability to perform certain tasks simultaneously. We can indeed do two things at once when one of the tasks requires no conscious thought. This is the domain of our brain's automatic system. For example, we can walk and talk simultaneously because walking is typically an automatic process that doesn't require our deliberate attention. However, problems arise when we attempt to focus on two complex tasks simultaneously. Driving is often cited as an example of an automatic task, which is why we can typically hold a conversation while driving on a quiet road. But as soon as the driving task becomes more complex, say, when another car suddenly pulls out in front of us, it shifts from an automatic to a deliberate task, requiring our full attention. This is why distracted driving is so dangerous, accounting for 1 in every 5 serious crashes. The consequences of attempting to multitask can range from decreased productivity to potentially fatal outcomes in high-stakes situations. We inherently understand this in certain contexts. We expect surgeons and pilots to focus entirely on their tasks, recognizing the critical importance of undivided attention in these roles. Yet, paradoxically, we often fail to apply the same standard to our own work and daily activities. So, how can we break free from the multitasking myth and improve our productivity and performance? Here are some strategies. Practice single tasking. Focus on one task at a time. Give it your full attention before moving on to the next task. Minimize distractions. Create an environment conducive to focus. This might mean turning off notifications on your devices or designating specific times for checking emails. Use the Pomodoro technique. Work in focused, 25-minute intervals followed by short breaks. This can help maintain concentration and prevent the temptation to multitask. Prioritize tasks. Identify your most important tasks and tackle them when your energy and focus are at their peak. Practice mindfulness. Regular mindfulness exercises can improve your ability to focus and resist distractions. Schedule breaks. Allow yourself time to rest and recharge between tasks. This can help prevent mental fatigue and improve overall productivity. Educate others. Help colleagues and family members understand the drawbacks of multitasking. This can create a more supportive environment for focused work. Embrace monotasking. Recognize that doing one thing at a time is not a waste of time, it's often the most efficient and effective way to work. In conclusion, while the allure of multitasking may be strong, the evidence overwhelmingly suggests that it's a counterproductive practice. By understanding the limitations of our cognitive processes and embracing focused, single-tasking approaches, we can significantly improve our productivity, the quality of our work, and our overall well-being. The path to true efficiency lies not in doing multiple things at once, but in giving our full attention to one task at a time. As we move forward in an increasingly distracting world, the ability to focus deeply may well become one of the most valuable skills we can cultivate.